Well, I'm trying putting a new fastener hold on this phone because this phone tends to turn off with every little bump in the night. Except it's every little bump in the road. All right, here we are. I went on a bicycle ride yesterday. It was a long one, and I had this phone here, and I thought I'd turned it on. I was recording. It was a nice 2-hour bicycle ride, and I was talking about everything. And then I found out when I got home, it only recorded for 18 seconds instead of 2 hours. The first bump turned itself off. So hopefully today, the first bump won't turn the phone off. So anyway, this is what I was looking at yesterday. This building over here, all the buildings here got devastated. They're all empty. And hope has run out. And these people, I mean, the windows are coming down. Some people are renovating them, but it looks like they're renovating them at slow speed. But I love this building. I would like to buy it. But I want to buy it for my price, not the pre-hurricane price. And most of these places are, they have their places listed at pre-hurricane prices. So I only stopped for quarters, and I just found a quarter. All right. So, what is this? Quarter heaven? Oh, well. It's good exercise to bend over for 2 quarters. All right. So, I'm looking for brothers and sisters right now. No. So the property medic, this is awesome. I like this because it's right near the park. You know, where people have a place to park for free. That, you know what, you can put an ice cream store in this. You know, the bottom line is you just gotta take what's inside these buildings and toss them in the garbage. You gotta get a dumpster here and just remove everything. That's what you have to do. You have to make the hard decision. And you know, if it's legal documents or what, the paperwork is ruined. So it's done for. Anyway, they still want an arm and a leg for that building. So there's no way I could buy that. Now, they have this stop stuff here because there is a curfew still in effect. So they have these lights. So at somewhere around 9 o'clock in the evening, they whip this stuff out. They put this stuff in the road. They turn those lights on. And so vacationing here in Fort Myers Beach is still a long way from being a holiday, being a real vacation. But like looking over here on the right, all these mobile homes got wiped out. They're still sitting here. They want to sell all the property. All the people were moved out. I mean, there probably is some vagrants living in there, but and all the property on the left. The interesting thing is I'm starting to see some life. Some people with the RVs are starting to park them over there. So for those people that are born fishermen, it's a good spot. But yesterday I was talking about, I was talking about FEMA and I was talking about the fire marshal. And these are two pet peeves I have, but a lot of people down here are experiencing the same thing. You know, people down here are suffering. Businesses, because there's curfew, you know, residents don't want to stay more than a day trip, and if they don't stay a day trip, you know, they just come down here to gawk, park for free, walk around and leave. They don't buy anything. So people want this curfew lifted because, you know, some of those people that buy real estate, they want to see what the real estate looks like at night, and they can't, so they're not in the market. You know, you're not allowed to park on right away. You got to park on the property. A lot of people looking for real estate, well, they want to park on the right away. You know, so they're not looking for real estate. And then property appraisers, well, they don't park on your property, so they can't appraise. So real estate really, it's either all cash or seller finance right now. And here's the darn thing. This gets back to FEMA. Flood insurance has gone through the roof. We're talking for a typical 3-bedroom, 2-bath, single-family house. You're talking $9,000 right now. Insurers are gouging. FEMA, to help out on the hurricane, they start off sending out big checks for their brethren that somehow are able to not necessarily file first, but file correctly. I don't know why, because it's straightforward. I filed one of the first ones, but I was one of the last ones to get a check. But when you're the last one, you get the smallest check. The people who are able to file, not necessarily first, but file through the right channels, they get the biggest paychecks, even if their house is the same size as yours. So again, it's all political. Anyway, they sent me a check of a little over $9,000. Well, flood insurance is $9,000, and they're going to tax me on that? Wow, that says it all. They say that this check is not for flood, but it is for flood insurance. That's all it is. It's for 1 year flood insurance, and they're going to tax me on it. Wow, I don't need flood insurance. I'm really just trying to fix my house up to sell it. And I'm going to sell it before June. So anyway, that's with FEMA. Now the fire marshal, he's another trip. On all these buildings, he's putting either a white, a yellow, a pink, or a red. Now everything but red is not necessarily bad. White is the best. That gives you your certificate of occupancy. But yellow, you got like 90 days. Red, pink, you're in like default, and red, basically they're attempting to take your property away from you. They want you to demolish the property, and if you don't comply, then they're going to take the property from you and demolish it. And then they're going to sell the property, and then probably give you nothing in return. Yeah, so that's the problem. People down here are hurting, and the fire marshal he's like Mr. Communist, playing by his communist playbook, no sympathy, no help whatsoever from the government. They're just following their stupid rules that they created for themselves, and the public is getting shafted in the time of need. Anyway, so now on the left is I did the whole beach yesterday, which is sad, and I thought I was videotaping it, but obviously I didn't. So I'm not going to go the whole island of Fort Myers Beach like I did yesterday, unfortunately, but I'll do an abbreviated version. I'm not even going to go down all these roads. I attempted to go down all these roads yesterday, but again, I'm just kind of ticked off that the phone had to stop. So these businesses here on Times Square, these have a nice concrete wall in the back of them, and they stopped a lot of the title surge from destroying the businesses that were on Old San Carlos Boulevard, even though a lot of businesses on Old San Carlos Boulevard took a real beating. These and the other businesses at Times Square, I'll bicycle by them a little bit later. They've been completely destroyed, leveled. Now this is a hotel coming up on the right that I've talked about in the last couple of videos. This would be a great investment. We're looking for investments. Now you want a low ball, and you want to start your low ball real low, and you want to get your offer in now, because a lot of these people, hopium has ran out, and they're faced with reality. And reality is, the Fort Myers Beach Fire Marshal could wake up one day and slap a red sticker on their wall, so they want to sell as soon as possible. So as an investor, you better have some money set aside. Once you buy this business, you better, for one, put up a fence to keep the Fort Myers Beach Fire Marshal out, and two, put up some boards so he can't even look in. Some people are opening up their paid parking lots, but they don't realize that most of the paid for parking has been destroyed, so it's free parking now. So people who are still paying don't realize that, okay, Lynn Hall Park is closed, but all the other, the parking in front of Lanakai, they want $10 a day, but the price used to be $30 a day. Now it's down to $10 and probably going to fall to $5. The only thing going for them is that the Sanibel, which again is corrupt, has a $9 toll. Don't let that $6 toll scare you. I mean, fool you, because it's $9 and they charge you an additional $3 if you don't have a transponder. And you get that bill in the mail. And sometimes they're late, so they'll times that by 10. So instead of getting a $9 bill, you'll get a $90 bill for crossing the toll on Sanibel. I got one for crossing Cape Coral Bridge. Supposedly it was a $2 toll, and they sent me a $20 bill. I'm like, what's this? I didn't $20. I thought it was only $2. And they said, oh well, didn't you pay your bill? I'm like, what bill? This is the first bill I got. And people on the other end of the phone, the county people, were belligerent, and they were tyrannical, and they were like, well, it's not our fault, and then you owe that much money now. And I was like, wow, that's criminal. They're like, well, you better pay it. They said, or else it's going to go up 10 times. It'll go up to $200. I'm like, what? Yeah, next month it'll be $200, and then $2,000, and then they'll confiscate your car. I'm like, what? So I don't cross those bridges anymore. I don't have a need right now for a transponder to get into Sanibel, obviously, because there's no real estate being sold out there unless you have all cash. Because people can't afford the flood insurance, so you're going to have to buy it with all cash with no federal financing, because if you have any federal financing in there, they're going to require that you have flood insurance, and flood insurance is ridiculous. If you notice, a lot of the homes in Sanibel are selling right now for just a lot price. So homes that were selling for $3 million 4 months ago are now selling for $500,000. That's the cost of the lot. But you have to also remember that a demo, if you can get it cheaper than $25,000, hey, my hat's off to you. But on the average right now, it's going for $35,000. That's honk demolition, and it probably will go up to $50,000 because there's just so many homes that need to be demolished. I mean, I'm looking at them right now in Fort Myers Beach. This one over here, it's not fully demolished. The water demolished it. If you're the homeowner, you could save $35,000 by getting a sledgehammer, renting a backhoe for the day. But yeah, you need to rent a. So yesterday they had the end of this road near Bobwitch Point blocked off. See, anywhere where there's a fence, then the Fort Myers Beach Fire Marshal is basically kept off your property, and that gives you the time to rebuild. So you have to put a fence up around your property. Just a little tape that says "Do not trespass, do not cross," like a little police crime tape. No, the Fort Myers Beach Marshal, he'll step right over that. He'll violate the law, whatever. But he considers himself some kind of a prima donna. I don't know. But they had the end of this road blocked off yesterday, so you couldn't get actually to the restrooms and the bathhouses here. Looks like they have it blocked off again. Yeah, looks like there's a car attempting to go down here. He's making a U-turn. But the first couple of weeks I was down here, it was open. I was able to bicycle up there. So, I don't know. I guess they're just causing extra little shenanigans. But Fort Myers Beach did add 2 feet of elevation all across the beach. And inland as well, they got their share of sand. And then the beach itself was extended outwards towards the water 30 yards. So there's 30 more yards outwards towards the water of beach, up and down Fort Myers Beach. Some areas, like down by Mid-Island, down by Publix, you're not going to notice it that much. They may have only got about 5 to 10 feet of new beach, but everywhere along the beach got 2 feet of elevation. And when I was bicycling yesterday down by Lover's Key on Fort Myers Beach, looking out towards the beach, there used to be some old bios or some swamps there that kind of like were in between the actual beach and the island's main side. Well, those have been filled in with sand and filled into a deep enough that it's solid beach now. So if you had a real estate or if you had some kind of a recycling company and you wanted to make like fertilizer, all this concrete, you grind up this concrete, you add iron, like rusty nails to it, and grind that up. That's the most excellent fertilizer for lawn. Ground up concrete and throw in some iron and grind that up, so you get all the lime and the iron. I'm telling you, that would make an excellent fertilizer. I guess granted you couldn't sell it for much, but if you had a grinder and you have an unlimited supply of this stuff for free, they'll actually haul it to you if you can grind it up for free. And you could bag it and sell it for whatever you get for fertilizer, $10 a bag, 20 maybe. So and that would be a great recycling business. See, here's a pool survived, but the house didn't. It's sad. The houses that did remain, again, the fire marshal is wetting his lips every single day, passes by here every single day, and he depends on what side of the bed he wakes up on. You know, if he didn't plaster a sign on your house one day, he may plaster one on this day. There's a house over there at the end of its stretch, and he probably put a red sticker on it. Red sticker needs to come down. See, these here, they're new on the left. And for the fire marshal to put anything on these, he must be drunk crazy. This Best Western Plus, this would be the best place for a casino. I was thinking about that. Casino gambling would be the one thing that would revive Fort Myers Beach almost overnight. You would have big money players come in, buy all this real estate, and right now, I mean, the beach isn't the widest at this point, but it's this is the choice real estate to have a casino on this side of Lynn Hall Park. There is some property, some now open space property that has opened up just to the south of Lanakai, just north of Diamond Head. That also would be an awesome place to, I mean, look at this open space here. These were, two huge properties, if not three, totally leveled. Again, this place was built with concrete with aluminum roof. Nice. That survived. See, people are parking on the street here. There's no meters anymore. There's no, the $195,000 meters, and 7-Eleven on the left is gone. Honk Industries probably charging about $30,000, probably $35,000. So this is a small structure. See, this is nice though. People get to park for free. This is like how it was back in the early '80s, before they built Lynn Hall Park. Basically 1989 is when they killed it. And this reminds me of before 1989, where it was just Lynn Hall Park was all sand, free to park. That's what they should do. Open it up, free to park. No pay here. Just have free parking. Why do you need to charge people to park? If there's free parking here, more people are going to come down here, and that would actually help the revitalization, help businesses start up again. All right, so we're going to turn on to Times Square. So as you can see, Palaka's gone. Kilwins is destroyed. They hauled away well, actually they didn't haul away the debris. A lot of this debris was washed away. So what you see is what you get. So Pier 1 ahead of us, totally wiped out. Top of mast next to it, totally gone. Again, Palaka is gone over here. Pete's Time Out is gone. That was a great place to buy pitchers of beer. I mean, they had like one of the best prices. And I think whatever it was next to it, Rita's or whatever. And then West Coast Surf Shop or whatever it is now. They're just their tower, which is basically an elevator tower, that survived. And then you have a couple like this, a couple shops that used to rent here, and they're still in business, which is kind of nice. Now, 10,000 people are missing still. These people haven't reported to work. They're not showing up in hospitals. They haven't cashed their paychecks. They haven't gotten their mail from the post office. They're just missing. And eventually those 10,000 people that are missing are going to have to be declared dead. You just don't get shell shocked or trapped. You don't survive for 3 months under rubbish or you're stranded out in a boat like Gilligan's Island somewhere. No, you're. I'm looking out towards the beach. There are quite a few people out there. So another business aspect, because all the 7-Elevens and the ice cream shops got wiped out, is ice cream right now. Ice cream would be a fantastic business. Ocean Jewels right here. This would be a fantastic ice cream place. So if you're gonna open up a store, Ocean Jewels is for rent. Now again, you gotta pay a lot to get that thing up and running. And the fire marshal's probably gonna have his hand greased to give you some kind of a certificate of occupancy. But an ice cream store, that is what is needed. In the surf club up here, this is the old Waffle House. That's got some significant. Again, the water went up 20 feet. So right now we're at maybe 5 feet in elevation. So add 15 more feet, and then there was some marauding waves that went over 20 feet. I heard some went up to 22 feet. When I say waves, there was like a 12-foot surge, and then a 5 to 7 foot surf on top of that. So that's where I'm getting the water height. So the water height was between 12 and a half plus 5 to 7 because of the 185 mile per hour winds and the extreme low pressure. So yeah, you had somewhere between 17 and 19 feet, and then when those 19-foot waves crashed into one another, that produced the 20 plus. I'm looking out towards the left. And again, every week I come by here, more and more open space. It's sad. But the nice thing I'm seeing is, $10 a day, all parking. Only a couple people. Now's the time for Lanakai to buy up all this property. It's for sale, and it's for sale just for the price of the real estate. And people are willing to negotiate right now. This is the best time to buy all the property. If you own or you're thinking about buying, now's the time. And you don't have to offer them the retail, just lowball them. Say it's an all cash offer. Because that's really all that's going to be contemplated, because flood insurance is so ridiculously high, and the property appraisers, whatever, if you're going for a loan, they're not going to be able to come out here. They're going to say some kind of, give you some kind of BS story why they can't come out. So it's going to either be seller financing or all cash. And I've seen, there's a big dip in the pavement. I'm going to have to cross over because this $80 million sidewalk that they spent lavishly on. This used to be Hooters right here. There's a blender, a cell phone. It's all wood. It's not here no more. It's gone. And then over here, there's a U.S. Post Office over there. They want $4.5 million for that. That's a shell, and it's all wood with steel over it. It ain't worth that. It's only worth maybe about $100,000. But now's your chance. If you want to make an antique mall, the old Fort Myers Beach Post Office would be a great antique mall. If you can get that for $100,000, turn that right around. Even this place here, this should be a flea market, but the second floor could be professional offices, and the first floor could be, they don't have it. They don't have restaurants here anymore right now. But if you were to offer something like free parking, which it used to be back in '89, then they slowly started putting in parking fees and other BS, and next thing you know, no one parked here, came here, because it made a bad stigma, so nobody went to these shops, so all the businesses went out of business. And now, of course, the owner is silly, trying to ask probably about $6 to $8 million for it, maybe more. No one's going to buy it. It's just going to sit there until the fire marshal slaps a big red sticker on the side. And once he slaps that big red sticker on the side of that building, then the owner of that property is going to just have to laugh himself to sleep every night, losing all that equity when he could have sold it or leased it out. Wow, I'll tell you, there's twice as much traffic today than there was yesterday. Now, the one crazy thing I noticed about Fort Myers Beach is they closed off all the beach access, like the communists that they are. Instead of giving the citizens a bone and trying to help the economy rebuild by opening up the beach, they closed the beach because they're a bunch of scum. And Look, here used to be a bicycle rental place. That's totally wiped out. And over, I mean, there's tons of stuff. This whole building used to come down. It's got a red sticker on it. And then over here, this used to be Leaky Tiki, famous restaurant. It's totally wiped out. And this is what it looks like. I mean, everything else washed away. There's a blender. And then over here used to be a bicycle, moped, whatever, scooter rental place. That's totally wiped out. Again, there's a red sticker. Has to be demolished. So this whole building is gone. So don't buy it. Don't buy it, even if it's a low price. But then again, if you do buy it and you do have some deep pockets to rebuild, and believe me, the building codes are going to be astronomically ridiculous, and you're going to have to get flood insurance, so you better have deep pockets to pay for it outright. Go for that small business association loan. We just passed the hotel on the right. This is Diamond Head right here on the right, but the hotel next to it got some severe damage on the abutting the shoreline. Some of the roofs caved in, and you know, and there is a double standard here. This building here, I love this Tri-Power. I would love to buy this too. It used to be long ago, it used to be a pizza place, then it was an arcade, then it was a video rental. Now it's real estate. There's tons of glass I'm bicycling over. There's porcelain, nails, screws everywhere. So I gotta be careful. You know that there's big piles of sand everywhere. I don't know where the big piles of sand are coming from, but I wish they would stop making big piles of sand. Okay, so Armando's Day Spa used to be here. They're gone on the left. And then it's hard to recognize this place because all the trees are gone too. And then there used to be some hotel over here. Silver Sands is also washed out, but that's way back by the old Waffle House. That's totally wiped out. And so is the Beach Whale, the 7-Eleven. It's all gone. It's gone. And then this used to be the St. Patrick or whatever it was, the Cloverleaf bar. This was a great bar for great drinks. It's gone. And then this is the Lucky 7, the old 7-Eleven. Back in the 1980s, there was a 7-Eleven here. And then it was Lucky 7. That's got a red sticker. You got to demolish that. These buildings here, again, there's an ice cream place. They should open. I mean, people need this. Now, there is a hotel right across the way from this place. It's got some fences up, but I'm pretty sure the fire marshal is going to hit them with a red flag. I mean, I've seen a lot of hypocrisy here, double standard. The fire marshal is giving the bigger businesses, including the churches, the benefit of the doubt, whereas residences, forget it. You don't get any benefit. And the residences are what need the benefit of the doubt the most. Okay, so there was a real estate place here that was collapsed. This is the Beach Connection. The Beach Connection. It's connected with nature now. You know, every day that goes by, you don't fix that. You just got to tear the whole. You know, you can see that the insulation on the ceiling got wet. Coming up is Chapel by the Sea on the left-hand side. Again, water got 20 feet high. The one thing I have to admit, though, people are pulling out the food wagons. The food wagons are making a big comeback. And I can remember at Daytona Beach in the late 60s, early 70s, food wagons were big. And little did I understand, but Daytona Beach got hit with a huge hurricane back in the early 60s as well. Just like maybe it was Hurricane Donna that rolled through there, but it took them years to rebuild, and food wagons were all over the place. But of course, that was the good old days when. Okay, here on the left-hand side, this is again, there's a fence around the property, so it keeps the fire marshal out. So this place should be demolished, but because it's Fort Myers Beach Town Center, obviously they're not going to be demolished. So it's a hypocritical. So this place, Tropical Shores, did a great job rebuilding, which means that they had good insurance. See, that's the thing. Okay, on the left is the old Tops, which is the old Winn-Dixie. I love the Winn-Dixie liquor store that used to be here. Of course, it's been gone for a long time. And that's one thing. All these fences, they basically are spending money, but the citizens are not allowed to have any benefit. And there's all these fences, rules, regulations. You know, they don't want the contractors in, and then the residents, you have to show proof. And even if you do show proof, they're only open like between 11 and 1 o'clock. It's stupid. But those people living there, getting paid big salaries, eating tons of food. And the citizens, I mean, it's great. They're offered one little lousy meal, but the people running the place get the top of the food. So everywhere we're seeing on the left-hand side now, these are wooden shacks. And the fire marshal, I'm telling you, they want to slap whatever they want on these. They want to, but these people must have come here and they must have greased the palms. Now, if you look really over to the left here, I've dug on this road just for an instant. This is the big pile I keep on talking about. It's about 80 feet high. It's about a quarter mile square. Just full of Fort Myers Beach's memories and hope. No hope anymore. It's gone. It's gone. That Fort Myers Beach Park is gone too. Whatever was there, the swing sets, the baseball field, if there was a swimming pool, that's filled in with a couple feet of sand. I mean, literally, if there was a swimming pool there, it's no longer a depression. It's a hill. I mean, it's been filled in. So, I mean, there are some shining spots here, like this place, this Faith Hope Charity, rebuild Fort Myers Beach shrimp industry. Well, they only got 3 shrimp boats out right now, so that's why the price of shrimp is so expensive in stores. But you know, after 3 more months, when they get some of these boats repaired and back out on the water, then you're going to get a lot more shrimp. And it's giving the shrimp a chance to recover. So the fishing offshore is I heard is really good right now. So if you want to go out for a half day or full day fishing, because the shrimp boats have been destroyed. Now, La Villa Resort, this is sad here. Look at this. You have to go on bicycles here because you have to be able to stop. Look how sad that is. Look at that. That is just a pool survived, really. The pool, of course, is a cesspool right now, but that's what the hurricane left. And even though there's a little do not cross tape there, I see the fire marshal, of course, he doesn't care about that. He just put a red sticker on both these buildings. They have to be demolished in 90 days or else the property's going to be seized. So if you are enterprising and you have some deep pockets and you can buy the property for next to nothing and you're willing to pay probably about $50,000 to have that demoed, if you could do the demo yourself, then you could end up with a nice piece of property. I'm not saying that you're going to make any money anytime soon, but charging for parking, you might be able to get $10 to $15 a day. Just hold the property. If you can get the property for like $500,000 or less, you might be able to flip it for $1 million a year down the road. So those are investment opportunities. So, but you really have to be here in person. You have to know. You can't look at an aerial view that's 1 month old because you need to see what the property. We're going by a slew of porta potties. This bank, the CNS Bank here, the people had just bought it and they were just renovating it when the hurricane hit. It's sad. So I know the Fort Myers Beach fire marshal wants to put a red sticker on there. Probably did already. And they are doing whatever demo they can. Good job this way for a little bit. I don't normally go on private property, but yeah, this whole place needs to be demolished. They should slap a red sticker on it. The roof is like, the water went up 20 feet, so it actually went over the roof in some places. I mean, like, look at these homes. It's sad. These people are not back. They lost everything. They probably had $1 million left on their mortgage, and now their home is only worth $400,000. That's with the property. So you might as well just walk away from it, and the banks are going to lose everything. So this yellow building onto my left, this is a success story. Although the water did get, obviously, the ground floor and the first floor. The second floor survived. That building over there on the right, that it's fenced off again, which is good because it prevents the fire marshal from going over there and imposing his communist view. They look like they got hit by the water went in on the ground floor, the first floor, and some of these older buildings, they only had 4-inch floors between each floor, so it looks like they could have gotten water even up there on that second floor. So ground floor, first floor, second floor. Second floor probably just got maybe a foot of water, but still just enough to ruin it. See, another food truck. And I'm telling you, that's what you need down here. You need food trucks with ice cream. Those ice cream vendors that stroll the beach, that's going to be highly sought after. This is the Fort Myers Beach RV resort, and the red coconut RV resort. It's wiped out. I mean, I'm really not supposed to drive in there, but all the utilities got wiped out too. That's why no one else has come back. And it's in a limbo state. There was hope. They put some flags and see the Fort Myers Beach. They feel sorry for them, so they gave them a pink sticker. They gave them a pink sticker. I'm making an illegal. It's not a crossover. Now this is Junkaroos on the right. It's totally gone. Totally gone. It was all wood. The building next to it looks like it survived, but again, 20-foot waves went up there and completely destroyed what was inside. So again, it's just a roof shell, and everything got wiped out inside there. The waves were careening against walls. I mean, imagine a 20-foot high surf here. I mean, I'd be 15 feet below water at this point. Wow. Just unfathomable, right? So we just passed the 7-Eleven on the left. It's totally wiped out. That was Hammerhead Gym. That's totally wiped out. Here's another thing. Before the storm, all the property was built on. All the property around here had homes. So anywhere where you see open space, that means the property was demolished or leveled. These people, what they're thinking of is, let's demolish our property before everyone else demolishes their property, and maybe we'll be the first ones sold when they lift curfew. Sad. Anyway, so looking on the left-hand side, there's more damage on the left than there is on the right. On the right, these places that survived, again, 20 feet. So that first floor looks like it's about 20 feet. Ground floor, got sand. The drywall got washed out. There's a camper on the back. A lot of these places still are without power. Then on the left-hand side, on the landward side, even these places that look like they survived, a lot of the homeowners rip off the red fire marshal thing and put boards up. And then the fire marshal wakes up the next day and forgets that he put a red flag there. And then there's a board there. Oh, okay, maybe it's criminal. But that's what they do. That's why there's a real big demand on plywood right now to keep the fire marshal out. And if you put plywood and you block it off and it looks like an intact structure, then the fire marshal can't stick his, illegally trespass and stick his snoopy nose on your property. Like the property on the left here, they've been rebuilding that for a while. The fire marshal, I know, has slapped a couple things on there, but the property owner is here locally every day building. And here's the thing. The contractors are so expensive right now. They're trying to rip people off for 10 to 20 times more what the price should normally be. So if the price is normally $1,000, they're trying to charge $10,000. Like to fix a power pole, the parts should cost about $250, and the labor should be $250. They're trying to charge $5,000. That is totally ridiculous. And not only that, they're a bunch of lying scoundrels. Oh, we'll get back to you the next day. They haven't got back to you. It's been a week. I just want to laugh at their proposal anyway. But the problem is, Florida Power and Light, they're criminal too. They say that the work could only be done by licensed contractors. Well, there are no licensed contractors. So they say that you have to get the work done in 90 days or they'll turn your power off. Well, if contractors are trying to charge $5,000 for something that should only cost $500, then I'm not going to get it done, and then they're going to turn my power off? Wow, I should sue Florida Power and Light for that. So anyway, there's just a whole bunch of stuff going on. And we just passed the church. I was told the food bank reopened, which is good. This church, again, double standard. This church got wiped out. But, the fire marshal doesn't want to put a red sticker on it. But on homes, yeah, red stickers on homes. Red stickers on homes. Right here, they tried to fix this. The fire marshal came, put a red sticker on it. The fire marshal doesn't care. He's getting paid his $1 million a year, even though he's probably only get $120,000 registered salary. Somehow he's making an extra $1 million on kickbacks or something. I don't know, but it's pretty criminal. So here's a camper. They're setting up some food. Probably having lunch, but you're allowed to on your property to put a camper now while you're rebuilding. So a lot of people are just going to put campers here. So because the fire marshal is such an antichrist, that's what you're going to have now in Fort Myers Beach. Instead of homes, you're going to have a beach full of RVs. Since the Fort Myers Beach fire marshal has no jurisdiction over motor vehicles, then for the next 2 years and probably extended, Fort Myers Beach is all going to be RVs. Because the Fort Myers Beach fire marshal is standing in the way of people rebuilding. Not helping, he's hurting. So now people are going to even be more vulnerable to the next storm. And this road, now this is the epitome. The old road was 3 feet higher, was asphalt, had a big wide turning lane in the middle, and you could put almost 2 lanes on it and a big wide shoulder. There was no sidewalk. You don't need a sidewalk down here. You walk on the shoulder. And that was actually beneficial because it was cheaper to make. It was higher. It was arched so the water would go off the road. So like even in a hurricane like this, the sand would flow off the road. So it'd be easier to maintain. Nope, they had to waste $80 million to build this road. And now all these sewers in the middle of the road, they're all full of sand. Stupid. Instead of having the water roll off the road on the sides, arcing in the middle of the road as the highest, they had to make the middle of the road the lowest. Like, how dumb are these people? Now all those sewers are full of sand. How are they going to get them out? Well, they're going to have to spend some serious money to pump all that stuff out. Wow. That's fantastic. And they'll have to do that on a weekly basis. Because it's going to be, in the summertime especially, it's going to fill up with sand every week. Just stupid. I don't know. The people who build this stuff, yeah, and you call these people contractors? They're stupid. They're stupid than experts like myself. I'm not a contractor, but I may be an expert. I'm an expert at building things. All right, so over here again, people lost hope. The fire marshal ruined their dreams. They had to knock down their homes. There's a big pile of stuff now. And then over here on the right, these people are trying to rebuild the first floor. The fire marshal probably was complaining at them. And, again, oh my gosh, fiberglass and the porcelain and the nails. So, again, 20 feet to hit this whole area. So, more so, the farther north you got, Fort Myers Beach, they say, got the worst of it, but I saw Sanibel, too. Sanibel was hit pretty hard. Fort Myers Beach, definitely, because the hurricane basically stopped on top of Fort Myers Beach. So Fort Myers Beach had from like 6 in the morning when the first wave started hitting here till almost 10 o'clock at night when the last waves left. And then there was an exit surge at around, between 9 and 10 p.m. The water was flowing out, and it cut a lot of inlets through Fort Myers Beach. Here's Publix. It still has not reopened. It looks like it could reopen. The Waterfront Restaurant and Bar is open, though. That's nice. And 20 feet was the key. I think they were only 15 feet. So they got 5 feet worth of water. Plus a marauding 20-plus foot wave may have gone through there and touched the air conditioning system. Wow. So Bailey's completely wiped out in Sanibel. I heard that Bailey's, though, helped Jerry's reopen. Jerry's, they said, had no water inside. I think Jerry's was at 20 feet or 23 feet or whatever. So they lucked out. And then the Rebel gas station. But Huckster's got wiped out on Sanibel, too. That's sad. And I guess the Beehive isn't there anymore, so you don't have to worry about that. But all the 7-Elevens got wiped out in Sanibel. There was like a little convenience store near the lighthouse. I think it was a lighthouse convenience store. And that got wiped out. So, again, ice cream and cold drinks. Without 7-Elevens, man, there's a market. So these food trucks, they need to store a lot of water and ice. That's what people are going to want walking on the beach. Or to drink, you know. There needs to be a liquor store down here, too. There's no liquor. I mean, without Publix, you have to go to Walmart. Again, Walmart's not too far away, but, you know, to have a vacation, you need some liquor. Someone cleaning up a little bit, I guess. But the fire marshal already slapped a thing on their wall, so the only thing they could do is they could stay on premises 24/7, and if the fire marshal comes, they could wave their hands and try to block them. That's about it. See, a lot of people, they put private property, no trespassing, but the fire marshal trespasses and puts a red sticker on it. So they're trying to sell their property, and obviously with a red sticker, you're not going to be able to sell it because the demolition people now are just pushing the limits. I mean, they used to be at 15,000, then they went for 25, now they're at 35, and soon to be 50, if not 100. Just, you know, it's getting ridiculous. And all they're doing is demolishing the house and bringing it a half mile down to the Fort Myers Beach, whatever, public park there. They're just dumping it there. Anyway, as you see coming up, there's a lot of open space. And the nice thing about it, I mean, if there is a nice thing, it's sad we have to, but now you could look through the property and see the water. And the last time I was able to do this in Fort Myers Beach was the early 80s, where there was still some open land. You know, that's about, it ended in the early 80s. The last bit of land was taken. You know, people, after a hurricane, people are a little shell-shocked to rebuild. But not now in Florida. Florida's got 10 times as many people in it as it had back in 1960. So, you know, there's people dying to be on the beach. And I bet the coastal setback zone, which is the insurable line, will be set across the road here. So you're totally uninsured on the Gulf side now. Uninsured in terms of federal, but you have private insurance maybe, but you're not going to be able to qualify for federal. No federal, no state aid. So anyway, again, there used to be a house where every one of these properties was. Fort Myers Beach was that build-out. Coming up is the old Fort Myers Beach coin laundry and car wash. That was an icon. It was always here. Even in the early 70s, that place was here. It's gone. Now, there's a guy with a camper and a grill, and he's making hot dogs. I stopped at his place yesterday, but he wasn't open. He said he didn't open until 11. It just so happens to be 11 o'clock now. But, so he cooks, he grills for tips, but looks like there's one lady in there cooking. So there's two campers. You know what? If you bought that property, you can leave your RV there now for the next 2 years. Again, RVs, the Fort Myers Beach Fire Marshal cannot get in your way because he doesn't have any jurisdiction on motor vehicles. So as long as your RV is registered and you own the property, you can park it there in Lee County. So that's, you know what? If people want to park RVs on their property from now on, this could be a good way to get yourself a cheap piece of real estate. So if people want to sell their property, even on the beach here, for $500,000, and you want to park an RV, that could be your Lethal Weapon lifestyle. Remember that movie Lethal Weapon with Mel Gibson? He had his RV there on the beach. I'm telling you, now you have your chance. You have your chance to buy an RV and park it on the beach. So someone has got a big $400,000 bus they parked there. I mean, you might as well. I'm looking for quarters and nickels. No, not really nickels. I'm looking for quarters or dollar bills or suitcases full of money. You know what? It may be. These rich homes may have been breached. The water may have carried that suitcase of money out. It's somewhere around here. Anyway, it's just sad that people lost so much. You know, and it was every week that goes by, it becomes less and less horrific, but more and more open space. So there's more and more open space. It looks less and less horrific because the ugliness has been hauled away. But that's the thing, it's been hauled away, and now there's nothing there except a void. I just think this building was being built during the hurricane. So I'm surprised the fire marshal hasn't slapped the red sticker on it. I'm kind of glad, not really glad that my video yesterday got destroyed, because I was talking about a lot of different subjects, more so than I am now, but I was a little more harder on the Fort Myers Beach fire marshal because I've been noticing more and more red stickers that he's been putting out. And you know, he's got to be more compassionate towards the people that he's supposed to, you know, he is supposed to work for. He's supposed to be, and he's acting empirical in terms of he's the law and order. You know, no. You were voted in there, elected, whatever, and you're here to serve the people. And the people need you. This is their time of need, and he's basically spitting on them. Now this place, Lahaina Realty, they did really good. They parked some kind of a work module in front of their place. Now, you're not allowed to conduct real estate in a temporary module like that, so that's actually violating Florida real estate law, but because their building is right there, I would assume that it's okay. But coming up, there's a John R. Wood in the Santini Shopping Center, and I don't know, I mean, if he did have an office in there, okay, maybe. If the office is still licensed, but it has to be, it does have to have an occupational license. There has to be, you have to have a valid occupation of the property. And Fort Myers Beach says it's uninhabitable, then you can't conduct real estate in that office. So, and if you have a mobile home, like he has down here, you're really only allowed to give out information. You're not allowed to do any contractual sales. You're buying or selling. Here's the Charlie Browns. The roof survived, and you see what? It's a double standard. They got a pink sticker on it. Not a red, but a pink, which means you have to comply within 90 days, or else then they'll turn it into a red sticker. So that thing got wiped out. That thing should have a red sticker on it, but the fire marshal probably was bribed. And double standard between commercial property owners or the big people and the average Joes. Average Joes take it on the chin, which is terrible. We just passed a nice pink building on the left. That one there is, I would love to own that. That's a nice professional center. Again, that hotel there has a pink sticker. That thing has got serious structural issues. But because they're a big player, they get a pink sticker. And another thing, these tennis courts, pickleball seems to be the new fad. And mark my words, these tennis courts will not come back as tennis courts. They're going to come back as pickleball courts. And people were hardly using them as it is. If they would sell the tennis courts by themselves, that would be a good business opportunity for someone to get a nice big piece of property that's already paved. All you have to do is either brush some concrete on top of it or spray some of that garage door or garage floor sealer on it, and you're good to go. That's a nice hard surface. So if these people want to sell their tennis courts, you might be able to pick up the land real cheap. You can put your RV, your mobile home on it, and call that a home base. You know, I've kind of been trying to look into that too. I've been looking for anomalies on the Lee County Property Appraiser website. Now, most of that is people that are fix-it-yourselves. You know, they're handymen. They don't pull permits because they do everything themselves. Those are actually the smart people. So they have a low assessment and they get taxed the lowest because they do everything themselves. Once you pull a permit, forget it. That's when the greedy little paws of Lee County tax collector comes out and they rape you. So do-it-yourselfers, that's how you save the money. And the problem is, right now, everyone's valuations, the assessed value is so high, even after this hurricane, that if you pull a permit, you're going to be raped next year. Next year, when taxes are done, you'll be raped. Even though you'll have to sue them in a court of law, and they'll be spitting on you. After the judge says that you are you are innocent and the property appraiser should lower the taxes, they'll still spit at you like a dozen times as they're leaving court. And the judge will say stop, and they'll say I'm not going to stop, and they'll spit on you. And somehow or other, they'll find ways to tax you. They're empirical. They're just communists. And really, to tell you the truth, property tax should be limited. All right, here's the 7-Eleven on the right. It got hit severe inside. So, again, the fire marshal put a yellow sticker. See, they're in bed with them. A yellow sticker. It got hit really hard. A yellow sticker. Here's Santini Plaza. Now, I guess I went by. I didn't see John R. Wood's mobile home there, but I guess it is. You must have a store inside here. But you're allowed to now. You pay the rent, or you own the property. One of the two. You're allowed to put an RV if you're rebuilding. So, but you can't conduct the business in that RV. You have to go back into your place of business. If your place of business doesn't have, I guess you can conduct business outside, as long as you don't do it on a regular basis. So this marina really fixed themselves up, because this was looking really horrible the first week after the storm when I was down here. But now, even the row of porta potties is nicely aligned. So I see a lot of this Action Restoration, National Disaster Team, the Belfort. So some of these places may not have power yet, and a lot of these big semi-rigs are actually big generators, just diesel generators generating electricity for the building. Who knows how long they're going to get power restored. So yesterday I went on top of the bridge. I'm not going on top of the bridge. I'm just going down to the bridge. I'll turn around. But you can see by looking out towards the Gulf that the beach, Lover's Key looks about the same, but the beach on the Fort Myers side. Hello. The beach on the Fort Myers side, you can see it's been padded both in elevation and extending out into the Gulf. And this is the point right now. We're passing all those filled in bios on the Gulf side. So it used to be a swamp. Sometimes they had to have a boardwalk to get over that swamp to get to the beach. Not anymore. That swamp has been filled in. All that brush was washed away. They added, at least 2 feet in elevation. And the swamp was filled in. The swamp was filled in and it had 2 feet more additional elevation. So, and the boardwalks were washed away. So they just walk on the sand right to the beach now, which is nice. There are some places I see where there's still some inlets that were carved when, like right here is one, where the water almost cut this island in half. The Sanibel Causeway was cut 3 times by water, on the water flowing back out, not in, but out. So there was so much water because not only were they opening up Lake Okeechobee and letting tons of water down into the Caloosahatchee, it was still raining up. The storm was still heading up Florida, so the Kissimmee River was still swollen and pumping all that water into Lake Okeechobee and the Peace River and the Caloosahatchee River. So the river water was still swollen by at least 2 to 3 days after the storm. I mean, down by Shell Point, they say that the water was still cresting the bank by about 5 feet. That's over 12 hours after the storm. 12 noon the next day, it was still 5 feet above normal. And then it slowly subsided because people that I knew said they escaped the storm. That house went under, and they just barely got out. I don't know where they got out to, because at that time, 6 a.m. in the morning when it hit, wow, you don't really have much options at that point. So again, here's some homes that are going to be slapped with a red decal. You have to take off from work. You have to spend all your time making big piles out to the curb, buying plywood, and sealing up your house. Like this house, he has got a white sticker. Don't ask me how he got that. But he must have ripped off the red sticker and said, hey, come look at my house again, and they put a white sticker on it. It's just, contractors are hard to find, and that's the problem. You shouldn't be required to get a contractor. And Lee County's causing the problem. Yeah, they say, oh, if you want to be a contractor, it's very lenient right now. But come on, very lenient. You shouldn't have that clause. You shouldn't have to be a contractor. I mean, all it is, you pass a little flimsy test, you become a contractor. Wow. It gives you the right to screw people? I don't like that. I don't like this building permit stuff either. Your house should be appraised when you sell it and buy it, and that should be what your appraised value is based on. It should have nothing to do with improvements to the house. That's just a way of them to screw you. When you buy your house for $100,000, I don't care if you live in it for 50 years, you're appraised at $100,000. I don't care if you put on a $5 million extension. You should be appraised at $100,000. If you buy a house for $5 million, that's the appraised value, $5 million. Bingo. I don't care if you destroy half of it. Well, again, if you destroy half of it and you have them reappraise it for somehow, then yeah, I think they should lower it. They should give you the benefit. In other words, the taxpayer should be given the benefit of the doubt. They shouldn't be given the shaft. All right, we're gonna turn around up here because. Again, I'm seeing just more open space, more vacant properties, which used to have big piles of rubbish here that have been cleaned out. But all these homes are for sale. Even if there's not a for sale sign, they're all for sale. Because people know, if your home survived, and your home was worth $12 million, you can't sell it for $12 million now. You can't sell it for half that. Basically, if a piece of property across the street is selling for $500,000 and it costs $500,000 to make a beautiful house, then guess what? Okay, your home's on the Gulf. It's worth $2 to $3 million. You just lost. If it was worth 12, now it's down to 3. Now it's down to 3. I mean, again, real estate is everything. You could jump up and down and say, well, I live on the Gulf. Okay, maybe it's worth a little bit more than $3 million, but also have to take into consideration that this building laws, the building codes, the price of flood insurance is also skyrocketed. And just like interest rates, when interest rates go up, the price of real estate goes down. When flood insurance goes up, the price of real estate comes down. So that's the sad thing. So everyone's suffering now. Instead of, I don't like FEMA giving out free money. What I really want FEMA to do is point me to resources. You know, they had initial some resources, cutting trees. That was great. People come over, volunteer, move debris out. I love that. I wanted someone to come over and help me with my power pole at that same time, but I couldn't find someone. They turned the power on, and then I was told by FPL I need a contractor. And I've been looking for a contractor, and these bums never call you back. And then when they do call you back, they're like $5,000 for what? $500 job for $5,000? What? I don't have $5,000. You think I am rich? No. And then, you know, they don't care. We'll send you our proposal the next day. It's been a week. You know, they don't care. They're actually part of the cabal. It's horrible. You know, they have a license to kill, and believe me, they're going to do it. In Lee County, they're hiding behind their bureaucratic bulwark. You know, Lee County government also should help. You know, Fort Myers Beach has a little tiny Fort Myers Beach town, but you know, Lee County should help here too. Again, I don't live on Fort Myers Beach, but Lee County should help me too. Yeah, hauling away debris, that helps. Okay, you know, they did a great job there. But you know what? They should have other services available. So, I mean, maybe I should contact them again. Maybe they have more services. Who knows? In fact, I think I'll do that, but I can't do it today. Obviously, but if I was homeowners, I would be down here now, making sure your house doesn't have a red sticker on it, even if it survived the storm. Making sure that it looks aesthetically good, so that the fire marshal doesn't put a red sticker on it. And you might want to put a fence around it. That's all I can say. It's sad. You have to resort to that to keep the fire marshal out. Anyway. And see, that's the thing. Some of these homes, the fire marshals walk around on a Sunday. The contractors are only here Monday to Friday. They leave the work area in disarray. It almost looks like it's, you know, and the fire marshal could slap a red sticker on your house because the work zone is not like a clean work zone. It's got work in progress stuff all over the place. That's another problem. So, but the key is if you see a place that has a little bit of minor damage, like a house right over there on the water. It's a wooden house. Obviously the waves went through it. They gutted the house, but it still has the windows. Okay, the wooden stairway got washed out. Here's another one. The air conditioner is raised 15 feet above mean high tide, but it was flooded, so that means the air conditioner probably won't work. Here's another wooden home. You know, if you can get it for $500,000 and put, you know, obviously you're gonna have to put about $5,000 to $10,000 minimum to fix that. More like with drywall and insulation. Yeah, you'll have to go with that purple board, and you're gonna have to get probably about 50-dollar cans of that mastic. If not, it's probably priced more by now. So okay, maybe $15,000 in supplies. But still, if you can get that house available, and again, if I said $2 to $3 million, you slap a $3 million price line, you bought it for $500,000. Wow, that's not too bad. It's 6 months worth of work, and that's, yeah. And I would definitely try to find contractors that do it all. There's a lot of contractors down here, again, that are horrible. If you are a handyman, you can pull your own permits, whatever it takes. In fact, fixing up the inside of your house doesn't really need a permit. If you're a handyman, you own your house yourself. You can do it yourself without no permit. You can fix anything around your house, to tell you the truth, without a permit. So it's when you have to hire a contractor, that's who has to pull a permit. So don't let the Lee County kid you. If there's anything around the house that you want to fix yourself, you can do it. It's your house. You're entitled to fix it. You could say, it just broke, I'm fixing it right now. Not a big deal. I'm not replacing it. Just fixing it. If fixing it means changing out all the parts, that's fixing it. It's okay. Legally, you're okay. If they want to sue you, you could say, I was fixing it. I changed out a part here, I changed out a part there. And maybe the whole process took all the parts out, but I was fixing it. That's legal. They would lose in a court of law. You can sue them. for damages, and who knows, maybe you can get them to pay you $20,000. And they would grit their teeth, and they would try to make a special assessment against you, criminals that they are. Okay, here's the Caribbean Beach Resort. The first floor got water. The older places got wiped out, both floors, and the roof needs to be redone. And I would only go with aluminum roofs. Don't go with tile. Don't go with terracotta tile, and don't go with shingles. Those terracotta tile, the wind just vibrates them and they crack when they fall off your roof. The shingles, they're just ripped right off your roof with wind, because contractors, again, in this area, don't know how to install roof shingles correctly. They say, oh, we follow code. Yeah, the code and the way the manufacturer makes the tiles to be installed are two different things. If you don't follow the manufacturer's installation instructions and you just follow code, you put 4 nails in there, but you don't rip off the tape that's supposed to bond with the shingle below it, guess what? You just made that roof unsafe, and you voided the warranty on the manufacturer's shingles. And the contractors will say, well, I have a contractor's license, and they give me the license to kill. I'm like, no, they don't do that. But unfortunately, because there's too many stupid people in juries around here, they don't know. And the contractors are, of course, probably doing some corruption behind the scenes. They're getting away with it. So these are I guess people are waiting for the bus. The bus didn't come. There was a bus yesterday. Let's see if John R. Wood has his camper parked in the Santini Shopping Center on the right here. So again, all these stores got wiped out. They're all gutted inside. All the drywall, even the roof, even the ceiling drywall was ripped off because the water got up that high. And across the street, that's the 7-Eleven. I mean, it looks like the building survived, but the entire inside wiped out. So far, this Santini Plaza on the right, it was where FEMA had one of their crews. Yeah, it is. It's John R. Wood. Christie's International Real Estate. It says real estate questions were open. Maybe he owns a real estate property business, which is different from his real estate company on Sanibel. But his real estate company on Sanibel, hopefully he could reopen for business. I mean, I don't wish bad things on anyone. Hopefully they could start back up again. This is a sad, on the left-hand side, this is the old Holiday Inn. It's the Wynn Resort. A lot of the, they probably have a red sticker on their walls. I see a red sticker. Let me just verify it. I mean, they sustain, yeah, total red. Total red. Two of them. So, it's a good place to park and visit the beach. You gotta understand though, there's nails everywhere. I mean, you have nails from the roof, nails from the carpeting, nails from fences, porcelain from toilets, porcelain from sinks, from showers, bathtubs. There's sharp things that will flatten your car tire instantly, and my bicycle tire. So you just have to, when you drive off-road here, there's been enough big trucks in traffic, and unfortunately these cars and trucks are sucking up these nails. But not on the shoulder, and not in the parking lots. There's not enough traffic, and the nails, sometimes they're exposed, a little bit of vibration, sometimes they go below the sand, a little more vibration, they're exposed again. So you gotta be careful. A lot of the fences were torn down here. A lot of the shrubbery, which was a shrubbery fence, is gone. So there's a different view down here. When you look at some of these, some of these buildings that are still standing. Like this, some of these trees survived. That's amazing. Because you know the trees were submerged, and the sea grapes survived. But a lot of the other foliage did not. It was buried for 10 hours of water. It choked. A lot of plants can't survive prolonged submergings, and they will die. So again, here's tennis courts not being used. Perfect pieces of real estate. open up a 7-Eleven or something, ideal. Again, if you could put an RV in the back and a food truck in the front, especially a food truck serving ice cream and cold drinks and ice, wow. That's the Dolphin Inn. It's got a pink tag, so that means you have 90 days to bring it up to compliance. 90 days, wow. I can see that they just installed new windows. No, it's going to be demolished. They have a pink sticker on it so that they can sell the building in 90 days. So the new owner can demolish it. That's basically what they're looking for. See, I wouldn't mind doing the drywall and doing the tile floors, and I don't mind doing that. So if I get like this Carousel Inn, it's sad. It's been here since Fort Myers was, and then the Outrigger Beach Resort coming up here. Total damage. I mean, look at that. That whole wall collapsed. For sale, under contract. This guy, William Ravius, commercial, he's selling a lot of property. He's making some money. The Outrigger, that was one of the, again, a lot of the older hotels had only 4-inch floors, 4 inches of concrete between the ceiling of one and the floor of the next. They didn't have any type of utility, like they're more of a 7 foot with 4 inches of concrete, and then that was a floor, and then another 7 feet, and then 4 inches of concrete, that was a floor, and so it was very small. They don't have like the 10-foot floors like they have today, but sometimes up to a foot of concrete or like a utility thing where they could put the air conditioning or ductwork or electrical or plumbing or anything else in. We ran a lot of the plumbing and electrical on the outside of the building, which I think is the smartest way of doing it, actually. I mean, if you really need to fix something, running on the outside of the building makes it easier to fix. That's how they do it in London, England. I'm not saying that's the smartest way. I'm just saying that's the most economical and easiest to service way. I'm not saying that an Arctic breeze up in London would freeze those. It probably would, but we don't have Arctic freezes down here. And if we did, people would still be running around in bathing suits. I got a bathing suit on right now. I mean, it's warm out though. It's about 80 degrees out. So it's pretty sad. People are passing me. Facing a little headwind right now, so it's but it's enjoyable. It's definitely cooling me off. It makes this 80 degrees feel like a 77, which is really nice. We're passing by Church of the Ascension right now on the right. They sustained a lot of damage. But they'll survive. Here's a home with a red sticker on it. Again, Church of the Ascension will probably buy up all this property if they haven't bought it already. So you'll see that wall extended all the way to this corner. Well, that just goes to show you that people are selling their properties right now. And this is the time where people are desperate. So if you want to get a good deal, you got to get it in now. Because once all the desperate people sell, the deep-pocketed people that just want to buy and hold, they'll demolish and hold, because that's what they want. They demolish and hold, and if the contractor becomes available to build a house, bingo, they'll build that house, and then they'll sell it right away. Because there are people waiting in line to buy homes. A lot of people don't want to do they don't want to contract their own home. They know how much frustration it is. So they want to buy a home that's already made. So a lot of these homes that have survived, they've lost value, but people are willing to buy their homes at that. If it's like that yellow home there, that may have gone for $6 million before. Now it's only going for probably, well, I'm looking at it. I'd be lucky to get $2 million from it. Maybe $1 million. But there is someone willing to buy it for $1 million. If it doesn't have a red sticker on it and it's not going to be demolished, then someone could fix up that concrete wall. I mean, that would cost less than $1,000 to fix. Put some stucco on it, make it look really nice. See, that's the thing. Fort Myers Beach now is becoming an RV resort. The homes are being knocked down, and people are buying like this RV here, probably $20-some thousand used, probably $40,000 new. They start at around a one bedroom RV, probably a fifth wheel tow behind. You can get them as low as like $13,000. So I'd say on average about $15,000 to $16,000. And again, it's going to be rough living. I mean, you got barely a kitchen. The air conditioning is going to be stretched. They have that stuff running 24/7. But you know what? I remember the days at Daytona Beach. My parents used to rent a bungalow, and it was the Belvedere. I think it was 2640 or something like that. South Atlantic Ave in South. It was either in South Daytona Beach or Daytona Beach Shores. I forget which one. But Belvedere was knocked down in. It was knocked down like in '86 or something like that. But actually, probably before that, because I actually went over there in '87. It was nowhere to be found. It was probably knocked down in the early '80s. But last time we went there was like in '72, and it was still fun, you know. So we had an air conditioning that leaked all over the floor. You know, it was one of those room air conditioners that they build like into the wall. One of those window air conditioners that they just built into the wall. And if it leaks, it leaks. You just don't step on the water. That's all. Yeah, there was always a moldy smell in there. A moldy fluorine leaking R12. It smells good. Sad. You have to go through this Fort Myers Beach at bicycle speed. If you go too fast, the nice thing about bicycle is that if you see a quarter, you can stop and pick it up. No, I mean, the nicest thing is that if you see something you want to take a double take, you can easily stop and look at it. Like some of these homes, just sad. See, I don't want to live on a busy road because you spend 1/3 of your life sleeping, and a busy road like this will cause vibrations and noise, and even if you have triple pane windows in your house, the vibration of big trucks and cars going by, it's going to wake me up. You know, so you would only want to own one of these if it's a vacation rental. Look at this. They have some kind of a tractor, and it's going like at 3 miles an hour, maybe less. Sad. Where's the, you shouldn't be allowed to do that. It's going to tear up the whole road. The nice thing is that it's driving along and any rocks on the road, he's crushing them. The bad thing is that if there's nails or porcelain, it's being sprayed all over the road. Backing up a lot of traffic too, but some traffic is smart enough to go around. Alright, coming up to Publix again. There was a lot of vegetation around here. I love this building, this onto the left here, this two-story thing that was just about 20 feet. That may have survived. I would love to buy just that if that was available. In fact, this whole thing would be a great casino. Right across from Publix, holy mackerel. This would be it. I'd buy this property, and then the shores, I would buy that. And then all these homes, yeah, I'd buy them and knock them down. I'd put the casino over here. And then this open space over here, where all the sand is, I'd make the parking garage over here. Whatever it is, 8 stories high, you name it. It would be a parking garage, and yeah, free parking. Why not? I mean, true, half of it will be used for people going to the beach, but you know, casinos normally fill up at night. They don't fill up during the day, so people, they don't really go to the beach at night, so it's good advertising expense to allow free parking at a casino, to allow people during the day who want to use it for the beach, and then they'll get acclimated. Hey, I can come back at night and do some gambling. Sure, why not? Just some nightclubs, gambling, you name it. Restaurants, partying, drinks. Oh, man, I just hit that thing. Yeah, I was going to drive down that road. That road has a lot of destruction. There's a tiki hut that was moved off of a tiki, and it's just the top of a tiki. It's right in this area. It's on the right-hand side. In fact, that may be it. But let's drive down this road just to check it out. There's a lot of devastation on this road. So again, these homes were demolished. So I'll show you. This home here looks like it survived, but you can see that water did go up onto that second floor. The window was smashed, so it probably had a boat. A boat was pushed up against it. I don't see a red sticker, so they may have survived, but I see, again, there's a house over there on the left that's totally destroyed on the other road. But I mean, look at this house here. This is sad. It looks like a house was pushed up on top of another house, because there's two different roofs, or the house was torn, or the roof was torn off this house. Wow, sad. It was definitely pulled off its foundation and fell straight down. Wow. They're throwing out their toilets. I don't understand that one. And toilets are things that should have survived, unless somehow the toilets were washed out too, washed out the window and smashed. Okay, at this point it doesn't look too bad. I guess these homes may have, the waves have already hit the other homes, deflected, and these must be the people that live here year-round are living down here. So they were able to fix up their homes. And you're close to Publix, it's not too bad. Food. There's these homes. Now, if you look straight ahead, look at the mangrove island. See all those boats and stuff like that? Those are still deposited there. That boat way out there, that's not a boat just trawling. That's wreckage. The storm took everything from Fort Myers Beach here, and those mangroves there, for the next 2 or 3 miles inward, they are littered with debris looking like that. So you see that debris over there. That's the next 2 or 3 miles. It's all debris in there, and it's so Mother Nature just polluted just in immense areas in there. But the wildlife, they don't care. They say, oh, this is nice new habitat. So they're living in the boats. They're living in the pelicans over there. They love it. So change is good. Even the wildlife likes it. It smells a little bit like oil, but they don't care, because maybe the oil pushes away some of the pestilence, like the mosquitoes and flies. So the pelicans like living with all that oil dumped over there. So what are you gonna do? All right, so we'll back up. See, that's kind of nice now. Now you can see the Gulf of Mexico, and you can see there's a slope. You can see that we were going higher towards the beach. So the homes in this area got more of a surge. They got, we may be at 4 feet here, not at 6 feet over there. It's not much of a slope, but it is a slope. We are going uphill. I am pedaling a little bit more. But yeah, all these homes are for sale. I don't care if there's no for sale sign on. Just look them up on Lee County Property Appraiser or Lee County Tax Collector and contact them. It's the best thing you can do right now, making those all cash deals. You don't really have to have a real estate contract. Just file the paperwork down at the county, exchange your whatever it is, your material that you're exchanging to buy the house. See, there's a dredge way out there. There's you can see it way out there in the Gulf. There's a big haze out there. It was a haze yesterday, but the haze yesterday didn't come on shore. The haze from yesterday did come on shore, and the haze didn't burn off till 10 a.m. I mean, it was a thick fog, haze everywhere. And that's that same haze you see out there. That haze basically came ashore. And the haze today offshore is thicker than it was yesterday. Yesterday it was thick, but today it's even thicker. Yeah, that dredger's out there. They're probably taking a lot of the concrete that they picked up from different boat docks and they're dumping it. They make offshore reefs using broken concrete and road sections. So there's a lot of sidewalks here that are broken. There's a lot of bulkhead seawalls that are broken. There's just concrete slabs everywhere that are broken, and they're going to take them and they're going to dump them out there instead of grinding up and making fertilizer like I suggested. That would be the best use of them. I see a lot of for sale signs coming up now, sell stay. But what I really like is I like the ability for people to park for free to go to the beach. I mean, come on, you gotta do that. There's more open space on the left. Yeah, it's just gonna be a matter of time before Fort Myers Beach is handing out parking tickets. The bums that they are. Here's an inlet. This probably could have cut the island in half, but it's been filled in by trees and debris and rock. Again, it's a nice open space area. Here's another inlet on the left, and that one almost tore apart the road. There's a lot of generators that are powering the internet services in the area. So I guess there's just not enough power to go around. So Comcast, the local internet provider, is just powering their own, whatever they have the power to get the boosters to get the signal out. This house is doomed. It's got an American flag. It's got a utility van sitting in front of it, but we're going to take care of that house in the next 90 days. It's done. I see someone is on a paraglide, parasailer out there. So something is renting. Or maybe that's a private citizen. But that'd be interesting if, Pink Shell Resort looks like they're open to an extent. I know Lighthouse Resort is open. And the Tiki Hut, or the Tiki Lounge underneath the Lighthouse Resort, right by the bridge there, that's open. Which is nice because it gives people at least a place to go. Alright, so here's the church I was talking about. It looks like it survived, but I'm telling you, its floor is about 19 feet up, so it's got about a foot of water through there. They have a food bank in the back of it, though, and we're going to check them out, because if I can get a water, that'd be great. And a quarter on the ground. One thing about this bike, I have a couple water bottle holders. I keep on meaning to put the water bottle holders on this bike, and this is my $35 bike. I treat it like a $35 bike. I really abuse it. I shouldn't, but I have I have two other expensive bikes I don't even abuse as much. But I don't ride them as much. This one, I just whip it out all the time. I don't care. Whether it's raining, sunny, sand, I bicycle in the surf. It's so much fun to bicycle in the sandbar or between the sandbars in the water. I love it with this bike. But the tires are rotting, so anyway, look at these homes over here. Oh god, I gotta fix the tire. Else it's gonna pop. There's a big rock sticking in it. Alright. Let's see what we got here. If there's any water, because I could use some water right now. I don't know if they have anything. We'll see. They're probably charging. If I was them, I would charge. You guys charging?
Yes, sir.
You guys got anything to drink? Oh, appreciate it.
That's all we.
Oh, okay. Try this one. Okay, oh, nice. Oh, thank you. I'm glad to see you guys are back up.
We've been here all along, man.
How did the church fare? I mean, I see it got water inside.
Everybody needs canned goods, let them know.
Okay.
We got canned goods, washing detergent, ice, water.
I need this stuff myself. But maybe later. How late you up until?
You got a way of holding it?
Yeah.
Go get you something and get you some supplies, man.
Okay.
Before it's all gone.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you. All right, you guys have a great day.
You too, sir. Happy New Year.
Thank you. You too. Happy New Year. All right. Oh, this is so nice. So this church is also a food bank. And that ice cold water hits the spot. I mean, I have a water bottle inside my car that I put in the freezer, but of course now it's probably, you know, with this 85-degree temperature, it's roasting. So I have a sealed car like that. But he's talking about all the food from the food bank, and they want to give it away. So I'll tell my friend to come down here. I hope it's not like MREs. I tried some of that MRE food. Oh, that's like 50-year-old food. I would not want to eat any of that stuff. All right, that was a nice, refreshing thing. Oh, since they don't have any 7-Eleven, I would normally stop at a 7-Eleven and get one of those iced teas. And I'm telling you, that, just sipping that. Even on Sandoval, I had some of my videos stopping off at Rebel gas station. I'm telling you, getting a cold iced tea, sitting in a chair, taking a nice mouthful, not even swallowing it, just let it swash around the mouth, ice cold, and just sipping it from that, just slowly. And enjoying every last sip of it before taking another mouthful. Oh, I mean, sometimes they have and it was pricey there though. It was whatchamacallit. It was $2. I think a bottle. Well, first it started off at 99 cents. Then they went up to $1.99, $1.49. Then it was $1.99. But I think it was like 2 for $3, or I don't know. It started getting ridiculous because there's hyperinflation going on. Thank you, Joe Biden, causing hyperinflation. Trump won the election, but I won't even go there. I try not to bring any of that upsetting stuff. All I can say is that if Trump was president right now, the recovery between DeSantis and Trump would have fixed Florida, and we would have more. That's a church. That's all private. That's not FEMA. And the church, FEMA has already evacuated this area. They only have this little tops area, and they're basically feeding themselves behind big fences. That church, you saw there was no fence there. Okay, they may have had some fencing where the food was, but that's just to cause the riffraff not to steal it. See here, everyone at Junkaroos is parking. So if you own Junkaroos property, this is a prime area to park right now. And you'd be better off having a food truck here, or at least charging people $5 to $10 to park. See, why pay? Which is good now because these other restaurants like the Fresh Catch that got wiped out, but you know what? It's got nice beachfront property, and if you can buy it and put a little bit, $20,000 into it, even this mobile home park, this is totally awesome. They got big trucks back here. They're still trying to salvage some of these homes. Some of these homes look like they're salvageable, and you got bums living in them. This is a prime piece of real estate. Even look, Lee County is trying to seize this property. And this would make an excellent public parking spot to park on the beach. Oh my gosh, better than Lynn Hall Park. I mean, you really need a second one here. So if you had Lynn Hall Park and that was free to park, and then this was free to park, oh my gosh, that would break the back on these people trying to charge for parking. But on the same token, you would have that many more people down here at the beach. The roads would be more crowded, and the businesses could flourish that much more. So it works both ways. Speed it up a little bit here, knowing that the traffic is backed up behind me. So look, they have a fence around the library here. Nobody could use it. It's useless. Nobody uses it anyway. It's basically just a place where bums can hang out and get free water and basically sleep on benches. It's a monolith to a failed Fort Myers Beach government. They need to sell it. Sell it and then refund the taxpayers all that money. Now, I don't know where all these people are going, but they seem to just be cruising. I saw the video on Bonita Beach, and it's, for the most part, a lot of the wooden homes have been wiped out, but a lot of the garbage has been cleaned up. I saw a purse in the middle of the road, so almost felt like I should go back there and grab it. It looks like it fell off someone who was on a motorcycle. I feel terrible. So look, this is FEMA here on the right-hand side. All right, there's a lot of fences. You know, there's a tent back there. How do you get to that tent? The tent should be up here. It says Emergency Response Center. I'm driving back there. Basically, it's bogus. You have a lot of open space here. So you see Diamond Head is coming up. This is a great spot because the beach is really wide. From Estero to the beach is really wide. So this is the perfect spot. We're just passing Chapel by the Sea right now. It's totally destroyed. And the beach connection coming up on the right. A big turtle, green turtle. Sad. That's gonna have to be demolished. There's no way they're gonna be able to fix that. There's a couple people rummaging through there, probably picking up souvenirs. It's terrible, stealing. Now, this place, this Royal Scoop, they should open. They may have lost power poles and they don't have power to open, which is understandable. If at all they could open, that would serve that much more for Fort Myers Beach to be open. And these condos, they should be able to be converted into hotels, because you have a lot of people that want to rent down here. And some of these places, maybe the first floor is still damaged, but the second floor and above is okay. So they should allow that. Surf song. That'd be a great place. And it looks like Diamond Head to an extent, but you know, they got fences around their place, so they're probably not open. I have to come out here because there's a big hole in the sidewalk. These cars look at me like, hey, what do you? I'm like, oh, well, hey, why'd you build the road so silly? Expect bicycles to ride up on the sidewalk, and the sidewalk is littered with jars of porcelain and nails and glass. Come on. See, like this hotel on the left-hand side. First floor is completely destroyed. The second floor definitely got water through it. You can see the 4-inch ceiling. Unfortunately, that place has to come down. There's going to be more open space here. And then there's like a newer building they built. It looks like the first floor got totally destroyed. The second floor got water. Third floor is okay. It was sad. Lowe's Pro. Here's a hardware store coming up. That thing, it's just concrete over a wooden foundation. That's all it is. So we're gonna have to knock it down, basically. Sad. Same as this strip mall. We're gonna have to knock it down. So a lot of people on the beach, you know, and whoever owns a hot dog wagon or one of these food trucks, especially ice cream and cold water. See, these tourists don't know about that church down there with the free water. They have to pay top dollar for this stuff. So now the haze looks like it's burning off over the water. About 12 noon. There is some clouds developing inland. In fact, they're almost looking like cumulus clouds, like rain clouds. But I hope not. It's the Otaco. When you're the only place in town. I see the sign in the window that says they take Zelle Pay. There's people paying $10 a day. Wow. Here's where the 7-Eleven used to be on the right hand side. And it's just a fenced in area. And then the beach whale straight ahead, right beyond this blue car, used to be the beach whale. It's not there no more. But a lot of open property, a lot of glass. And porcelain I'm driving over. Beach whale is no longer here. And here's Silver Sands coming up on the right-hand side. It's no more, obviously. So, hello. And then here's the old Waffle House, whatever they're called after that. This thing survived, but all the electrical got destroyed, so it's just a shell. So, I mean, it's got a nice aluminum roof, don't get me wrong. It's a little bent in here, it needs to be fixed, but Ocean Jewels, they did the best thing. They lost a lot in terms of inside, but they have a nice concrete floor. So, we're gonna go down to the lighthouse. Down this road here. So you can see on the left-hand side, this is Margaritaville. So again, they're not 100% done yet. And they had to backpedal a little bit to fix from the hurricane, but it didn't hurt them that much. See this hurricane actually helps them because they're going to be the hotel now to live at. So Margaritaville, Pink Shell, Diamond Head, even Lighthouse Resort here. Those are your choices. Those are your only choices right now, unless you want to stay at a condo. So Margaritaville is going to be able to charge $300 a night because they're going to be one of the only hotels. And now that Times Square is wiped out, you're going to have a new geographic center of the island developed. Over here, straight ahead is the Lighthouse Resort, and there's the Tiki Lounge right there on the ground floor. I can see it's got a ton of people there. Everyone knows about the Tiki. There's live music, and there's a bar, and there's a swimming pool. And it looks like the swimming pool is clean. Oh no, it's been, there's a tape going around it, sorry. It looked like it was clean, but it's not. Alright, so we're going to exit the island. Oh, it's a nice cool breeze in the shade there. See a lot of tourists coming down here, but there's no food, so they have to bring their own stuff. Again, most of the locals do that, and this being New Year's Day, I see the Yucatan is packed right now. You have a restaurant, you could charge $20, $25 a meal easy. The Lighthouse Resort is packed, and I can smell cheeseburgers. Cheeseburger in paradise. Oh man. I can smell grilled sausage. Oh man, that smells good. Oh, I'm getting hungry. Grilled onions and sausage. Nice. Oh wow. Someone's putting some kind of a steak sauce. Even dogs passing me by. Got the nose out the window, they're licking their chops. It smells good out here. Whew. Raw. Haven't gotten to the inflection point of the bridge yet. Still going up. I like how people think that the only free parking is on Little Estero Island, but it's not anymore. There's people walking over the bridge, and as they still think that. Hello. Now, granted, there's a lot of people entering Fort Myers Beach right now, so all that free parking that just became free may not be free anymore. You can't park on the right of way. There's still a law regarding that, unless you own the property, obviously. All right, top of the bridge now. Right. Wow. Putting this bottle someplace where I don't have to hold it. Oh, better. Right. Looking down, there's still that boat on top of Bonita Bill's Waterfront Cafe. I mean, literally, it's perched there. It looks like a fixture. It's cool though, but all the docks got wiped out, except for Bonita Bill's, where the restaurant is. That's still in business, and the Dixie Fish Company, that's still in business. Although I can see it's just the shell. This has been roped off, but at least Dixie Bill's, they're open for business. I'm looking over at the shrimp boats. I see about 6 of them. And I see a tug over there. I see a couple big cranes. So there's still a lot of boats dry docked. A lot of shrimp boats are still up on water, dry docked. So they're probably doing some fiberglass patches on them. And then the cranes are going to lift them back into the water. So again, less than 3 months, and probably most of the shrimp boats will be back out there. So, now, as you look over here on the right, those are some shrimp boats that are still washed up. I count at least 7 of them. That's another business investment opportunity. If you wanted to buy one of these shrimp boats, and they won't go cheap. If you want to buy one, they got metal holes. You might be able to put some fiberglass on them, whatever. Fix them up, make them seaworthy. You can either resell them, or you could join the shrimp boat fleet. Back at Little Estero Island where I always park. hope you enjoyed this video. In fact, I hope the video was recorded. Hope you recorded the 2 quarters the 2 quarters that I found across the street there. That's a sign of good luck. 50 cents. Oh. Ow. All right, until next weekend. Next weekend I'll probably do a Sanibel tour. So the first trip back on the island. So anyway.